Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training, Dallas, Texas. We're here on the corner of Austin and Jackson. Got a nice big white building here, which is great because they help us a lot. So let's take a look at the deterioration. You need two violations to write here, if there is any. One is paint deterioration. So the rule of thumb is if it's got more paint than rust, then you can't write a violation on deterioration. But if it's got more rust than paint, then you write a deterioration violation. But let's say the owner has been keeping it up and painting it, and then with a spot paint job, we can get this thing back to pristine white. Well, now let's take a look at structural. Let's take a look at a couple things. The first thing right off the bat is you got this chain, no release arm, the weights, and you got a chain, and this thing's hard up against the building. So something happened on this fire escape to push this. So this fire escape, if it was to go up, it scrapes the building. So right now, this cantilever is not going to come down correctly, and it's tight. So it looked like it got damaged, and if you look at that, it's twisting to the right. So it looks like even the pin is broken on this. It was supposed to be attached into the building. See, the pin is missing from the building, so this thing will wiggle and shake and scare the hell out of people. So the pin got pulled out of the building, never got put back in. There's an indentation there that shows where it used to go in. And so now you've got the cantilever that looks like a truck must have clipped it out here because it's over to the right. It's over to the right. So some of the things you got to look for is just the rusty connections, any connections on the treads. Look for the cement, if there's any cement missing. So just structurally here, you can see that the fire escape got hit. You got rusty tears coming from the tread clips and cement missing. So it's enough right here to write a structural violation just to make the fire escape get the repairs done on the structural. But the paint, with a spot paint, you can actually have Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training. Here we are in Dallas, corner of Marilla and Park. We have a fire escape here. And two things we're looking for, typically as an inspector, to write a violation. We're either looking for deterioration, which is an indication that the fire escape has not been maintained or painted in a very long time, and or structural unsafe condition, so that can be a violation based on structural. So right away on this fire escape, you can see they have not painted this fire escape in many years. There's a lot of rust, huge amount of rust. So right away, just on the paint job, you can write a violation, and this violation will then trigger an inspection that will then identify that there is other structural issues with this fire escape. So right away on this particular fire escape, just the fact that it hasn't been painted, it's the right to write a violation. But let's say it was fully painted and we were looking for other issues such as structural. So a couple of things right off the bat. It does have a chain, so the chain automatically indicates that the fire escape is out of balance and has no release arm as required, so that in case you have to use this fire escape cantilever, you have to step on it and you have to be the mechanism that brings it down. But it has to be released, fall 2 to 3 feet per second on its own, hit the ground, stay down so people can properly evacuate. Now with this, you look for other structural issues. So you look at all the treads and you can clearly see that all the treads have rust on their connections. So the bolts are all original square head bolts, so you can see that this fire escape has some of these treads that are going to be ready to fall. So that's another indication that the original bolts are still on and that there's tears and rust, dark stains where the clips are, indicating that the rusts have been eaten or are being eaten. The weight box itself has some of the clips that are not holding it correctly. So that's another indication that this fire escape needs to be structurally reviewed. And if you look straight up, you look at the cement towards the wall, you can see that the grating up against the wall there, it too is in bad condition. That there's rust growing. So you can see the tears, the lines of tears, especially on the treads and all the grating along the wall. So going all the way up, you can see enough evidence that some of the treads are ready to give way and some of the treads are expanding. So there's the structural. Paint hasn't been painted and there's structural in all the treads. So on this particular fire escape, the violation is both deterioration and an unsafe condition. As always, you can always call fire escape engineers for further instructions. These are seminars that we offer to all the fire departments throughout the country. You can always call 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333 for further instructions and some free CDs on fire escape awareness training for fire departments and fire prevention, Fire Escape Academy, Inspector training video. Here we are in Dallas, on the corner of Harwood and Jackson, or on the back side, Harwood and Jackson. And we've got some fire escapes here, and it looks like our building is getting remodeled. But some of the things we're looking for on this building that will determine whether the fire escape passes one of the two requirements in order for it to not get a violation. We have to see if it's deteriorating and if there's any structural issues. So right away we can see that this fire escape has not been painted. So as soon as you see a fire escape that has not been painted, that's deterioration. That's all you need to write a violation. And then during the inspection by the structural engineer, the fire escape will be picked up all the structural deficiencies. But if, let's say, this fire escape was painted, let's see what other things we could find that are structural. First thing that we notice is that all the bolts on the treads are original, so that's for a 50 to 75-year-old fire escape to have original bolts is an indication that there's never been any maintenance. You got this release, the cantilever release thing, it's right over the people. In case that cable ever fails, it'll crush and kill somebody. We've got some cracked walls near the support, near the platform, where it's pulling away from the wall, so that is an indication that the fire escape won't hold the load. If it was ever load tested, it will pull away from the wall. So this particular fire escape here, those are the two things that we found. Let's take a look at this other one over here. This other one over here, same thing. It's another cantilevered fire escape, and you can tell it's never been painted. So if you just want to write a violation, deterioration is all you need to write a violation. Well, this fire escape, you can see, has not been painted. But if it was fully painted, you were looking for other things to write the violation on, such as an unsafe condition. Let's find out. First thing is we have the weight box right over the stair. So in case that weight box ever lets go, it will crush and kill somebody. The weight box means that the fire escape is not balanced correctly. There's no release on this. It must have a release arm so that it drops the cantilever 2 to 3 feet per second, requiring no special knowledge, hits the ground, stays down, and people can self-evacuate. So the cantilever unit, the weight box is a bad situation. All the treads from here, you can see they're all welded. And with this much rust, those welds are no longer guaranteed. And if you look on the platform, which you may not be able to see from here, but the fire escape there's a huge hole in the back of the, I think we can get in there underneath the supports. You can see the big hole in the back. That big hole in the back means that the through bolts, this is not guaranteed that this platform will hold a load of 100 pounds per square foot. So if it was to be load tested, it would not pass. So deterioration, it has not been painted. That's a standalone violation right there. Otherwise, if it was painted, we found all the structural issues, such as the cantilever and the supports. So again, Fire Escape Engineers, 1-866-649-0333. You can visit the website fireescapeengineers.com for further information.